Hello everyone and welcome to this video in which we'll be looking at CAT 2023 slot 1's quant question, specifically this question which is present in front of you on the screen, which is a question on the topic of geometry. Now this was hands down one of the toughest questions inside the CAT papers quant section in slot 1 in 2023 because the language of the question made it look like it was something complex. In actuality though, the question was not very difficult. Now, I want you to take a pause. If you have not looked at the question before, I want you to take a pause, read the question, understand exactly what the question is asking and try it out once yourself. If you have tried it out, then you can continue watching the solution. Now, to solve this question, we need to first understand this figure of the circle that I've drawn here, which is present on the screen in front of you. So this figure of a circle in which there are two tangents which are drawn to the circle from the same point, we need to have a sense of understanding of this figure. Only then will we be able to approach the solution of this question. Now, this figure is a very important figure because multiple times in several geometry questions, this figure will reappear because it's a very, very symmetrical figure. Why? Because whenever I've got two tangents drawn from the same point, suppose PQ and PR are being drawn from the same point as tangents to the circle with center O, and if I join OP, then one of the things that we have to understand is that this leads to the formation of two congruent triangles. Why? Because OQ and OR are normals to the tangents, which means they will form a 90-degree angle or a right angle with the tangent. So these two angles are equal. Also, OP is a common side. Also, radius of the circle, of course, will be constant. So OQ and OR will be equal. So by RHS congruency, triangle POQ and triangle POR will be congruent, which means that the two tangents drawn from the same point of the circle will be equal in length. Also, this angle and this angle will be equal. Also, these two angles will be equal to each other. So all of these things we can conclude about this figure in which there are two tangents drawn to a circle from the same point. If this is clear, let's move forward and let's understand this question. The part of the question that I wanted to focus upon first is that there are two tangents which are being drawn with an angle between the tangents of 60 degrees, which means that this angle here, if I take this figure, then they are saying in this figure, angle QPR will be equal to 60 degrees, right? So like this two tangents are drawn and they're saying that the locus of the point at which they're intersecting. So they're intersecting at P, they are talking about the locus of this point. Now, locus basically means path traced by a moving point. So if we consider all the pair of tangents which have an angle of intersection at 60 degrees drawn to this circle, then if we follow the path that the point of intersection of all the possible tangents that they take, then I have to find out what kind of shape they will form, and that shape will be the locus of the point of intersection. Okay, that is one thing to be understood, which means that just like these two tangents, I can probably draw two more tangents like this, right? So this will give me one more point at which the angle of intersection of the two common tangents to the circle will be 60 degrees. So the locus of the moving point, if I've got, say, one more pair of tangents like this, so then the locus of the moving point will look something like this. So that we have to understand, and what kind of shape will it form if we follow the locus of this moving point, we have to understand. That is point number one. Point number two that we need to know if you want to solve this question is that the general form of circles equation is x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square is equal to r square. This is very, very important to know. If you do not know this, make a note of this, that x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square is equal to r square is a general form of the circles equation, where the center of the circle lies at the point a comma b, the abscissa is a, and the ordinate is b for the center of the circle. And of course, r is going to be the radius of the circle. Okay. So these couple of things we have to understand. Now, with this being said, let me show you how will the locus of the moving points of the point of intersection of the pair of tangents which have a constant angle between them look like. So if I draw multiple pairs of tangents around a circle with the same angle of intersection, then if I join those points, then I will get the locus of this point as a circle itself. And this circle which is being formed will be a circle which will be bigger than the smaller circle, of course, but it will be concentric with the smaller circle, concentric with the original circle, which means that both the circles will share the same center. That is one thing to be absolutely understood. If this is clear, if you can visualize this, then basically to solve this question, all we need to do is we need to find the equation of the bigger circle. Because this L will be a circle, we need to find the equation of the circle. Why? Because the question is asking us to find out at what point this bigger circle touches the line x equal to 6. So if we can solve the equation of the circle simultaneously with the equation x is equal to 6, then I will get the x and y values at which these two geometric shapes will be touching each other. This locus L will be touching the line x is equal to 6. So that's what I have to do. I have to solve the equation x is equal to 6 and the equation of the circle that is being represented in the question by L. And we know the general form of the circle's equation. Once again, to reiterate this, x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square is equal to r square. So all we need to do to solve this question is find the radius and the center of the bigger circle. Now to do this, we have been given the equation of the first circle, x square plus y square plus 4x minus 6y minus 3 is equal to 0 is the equation of the smaller circle. Right? So let me consider that this is that circle which has the equation given in the question. And the tangents are intersecting at 60 degrees, which means that each of these angles will be 30 and 30 because, as I said before, triangle POQ and triangle POR will be congruent. Also, if these two angles are 90, because normal and tangent is always going to be at right angles, and the remaining angle of the two triangles, of course, should be 60 degrees because the sum of the three angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Okay. Now, what I'll try to do next is that I will take this equation of the smaller circle, which has been given to us in the question, and try to write it in the form of the general equation of a circle. Why? Because once I write it in that format, I can easily figure out what is its center and what is its radius. So if I try to do that, then what I can do is first, I can take x square minus 4x. The 4x part can be the 2ab term of x minus a the whole square, right? So then I'm going to do x square plus 4x. So 4x is a 2ab term. 4x can be written as 2 into x, right? So which means the b term will be 2 square, which I've written in here as 4. So I'm adding plus 4 here. Similarly, I'm writing y square minus 6y together. The 6y part will be the 2ab term for y minus b the whole square. So 6y is nothing but 2 into minus 3 into y. So which means the b square term will be minus 3 the whole square, which is 9. So I'm adding a plus 4, I'm adding a plus 9. But to keep the equation the same, I have to also do minus 4 minus 9. So if I do plus 4 plus 9, then minus 4 minus 9 will be minus 13. And there also exists a minus 3 already. So I have written that as minus 16. So basically what I have done is I have done plus 4 plus 9 minus 13 minus 3 is equal to 0. So that's why I am saying that these two equations are the same. Now, once I've done this, now x square plus 4x plus 4 can be written as x plus 2 the whole square. And y square minus 6y plus 9 can be written as y minus 3 the whole square. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write the same equation as x plus 2 the whole square plus y minus 3 the whole square is equal to 4 square, because 16, if I take it to the other side, 16 is nothing but 4 square. So what I've done now is that I've essentially reduced the given equation of the circle down to its general form. So now I know that the center of the smaller circle will be minus 2, 3 and its radius will be 4. Okay. And because we know that even for the bigger circle, which has been represented by the letter L here, will have the same center. So its center will be minus 2, 3 as well. So the point O lies at minus 2, 3. This we can figure out. And of course, OQ, length of OQ and length of OR will be equal to 4. Now using this, I will try to find out now the radius of the bigger circle. So radius of the bigger circle, of course, is going to be represented by OP, right? Because the circle is going to move like this from the center O. So this is the circle that we have. Right? I hope all of you are being able to visualize. So of course, radius of the bigger circle will be OP. So if we can find out the length of OP, then we can form the equation of the bigger circle. So to do that, I'm going to be using trigonometry, right? So how am I going to use trigonometry? Because triangle POQ is a right angle triangle. In right angle triangle, all the trigonometric ratios can be applied. So I can apply cos 60. So cos of angle QOP, which is cos 60, will be based by hypotenuse, which is equal to OQ by OP. So cos 60 is OQ by OP. We know the length of OQ is 4. We've already found that out. So solving this equation, we can find out the value of OP as 8, because cos 60 is half. So OP will be equal to 8. So OP becomes radius of the bigger circle. Okay. So now we have center of the bigger circle as -2, 3 and radius as 8. So therefore, the equation of L can be written as x plus 2 the whole square plus y minus 3 the whole square is equal to 8 square. Now, if we solve this equation and this equation of x is equal to 6, we will find their point of intersection. Now, solving these two equations is very easy because all I need to do is substitute x as 6. So if in this equation, if I substitute the value of x as 6, I will get 6 plus 2 the whole square plus y minus 3 the whole square is equal to 8 square. Now 6 plus 2 the whole square is 8. 8 square will get cancelled. So from here, I will get the value of y as 3. So which means the point at which the bigger circle and the straight line x is equal to 6 will cut each other will be at 6, 3. The value of x coordinate will be 6. The value of y coordinate will be 3. So answer to this question will be option A, 6, 3. I hope the solution of this question is clear.